Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Optimal Living Advice, the podcast where we take any questions you might have about the many struggles of life and get them answered for you here on the show. I'm your host, certified life coach Greg Audino, and I am really happy you dropped in today because today's topic is one of, if not the most common theme that comes up with my clients. We might not all struggle with today's topic, but it does concern something that most of us have at least pondered and lost some sleep over. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What are some concrete examples of helping someone find their purpose in life? Life purpose. The life purpose question is an extremely, almost unfairly large question to ask of ourselves. Not only the weight that comes with tying our existences to one sole purpose, but also the mental pretzels we put ourselves into in seeking out such an answer. As I said, some people obsess over it. Others don't believe their life has a purpose. Different strokes for different folks. But if it is a question that does mean a lot to you, there can be a lot of unrest until you find the answer. So, it can be a very isolating feeling that can come with not knowing one's life purpose. And this is a very natural feeling because not only is one's life different from all the rest, but we're also seeking an answer that pertains only to us. And because of this, the roadmap is different for everybody. Just as there is not a concrete purpose that applies to everyone, there is not a concrete means of finding purpose. There are, however, concrete questions and strategies we can apply to help us find the answers that are unique to us. And that's what we're going to go over here today. Now, it's important to know that we will only deem ourselves successful or quote unquote on purpose in life. You like what I did there? If we're fulfilling our own values. Now, unless you feel these things are meaningful, fast cars, stacks of money, hot people in bathing suits, and other things we see advertised so frequently. These are not things to base your life upon. But we're probably all adults on this podcast and already know that. But what we tend not to know, even as adults, are what our own values are. And the first step towards finding life purpose is to identify them. Identify that which is meaningful to you, and take an honest look at how well represented those things are in your daily life. Typically, the more distant you feel from having purpose in life, the more distant you are from living through your values. Most people miss this step because we associate life purpose with goals we want to accomplish and what we want to be rather than who we want to be. Talked about that a little bit in the last episode. But accomplishments and achievements, they come and go. They also, in some cases, are more linked to what we want others to feel about ourselves rather than what we want us to feel about ourselves. When we focus on who we want to be as people, as opposed to the statuses we want to link with our identities, we're in a better position to feel a sense of purpose and continual drive to be at our best. But none of this is possible if we don't know our values. And if, for you, discovering your values isn't as simple as putting a pen to paper and soul searching for a little bit, there are questions to ask that can offer some shortcuts. So, first, you might want to consider what things you would like to try that you never have. What has always excited you but has lied dormant due to fear? Action comes before motivation, and the more we resist doing certain things, exciting or unexciting, the more urges build up and the more of our identity is forced to retreat. In the way of finding life purpose, this is extremely unproductive because it's hard to know what we are here to do if we don't give all parts of ourselves a chance to breathe. So consider what you have wanted to try based on enjoyment. But also don't be afraid to consider what you could try based on struggle. This might throw some people for a loop, but I often tell my clients to pick their struggle rather than their dream. There will be difficulty in any path we take, and choosing the difficulty that we respond best to can be an extremely wise course of action. What do others hate putting up with that you don't mind putting up with? Combat and life-threatening situations might sound like complete misery to most, but those who find pleasure in them might join the police or a branch of the military. Constant exercise might sound like misery to most, but those who find pleasure in it might become athletes or power lifters. Listening to other people's problems might sound like misery to most, but those who find pleasure in it might become therapists or hosts of the Optimal Living Advice show. Who knows? Possibilities are endless. Just as useful as looking into things we can do in the future, however, is looking into things we've done in the past or are doing in the present. So take some time to reflect on the times in which you've felt most fulfilled, even back to childhood. Now, of course, there are plenty of changes you might have undergone since these times, but oftentimes We quiet our passions because we feel they are somehow impractical. It doesn't mean we don't still care for them, however. Even if you don't choose to completely relive something from the past, you might be surprised to find bits and pieces of it that you can use elsewhere. If you used to love playing soccer, but you don't anymore, you might find that what really excited you about soccer and what you still care for is the use of your body and being part of a team. Picking apart certain enjoyable elements will give you a good sense of new values that you want to integrate into your life and thus into your purpose. So pay attention to what has or does make you lose track of time, why it has that effect on you, and how that can be maximized in your daily life. Now, the last thing I'll say might sound contradictory to something I said earlier. What else is new? But just bear with me. It is true that life purpose is unique to us and about our own individual journeys. But lately, we have been exposed to a lot of really dangerous advertising about keep your head down and do your work, look after yourself and worry about yourself, not others. This goes entirely against the grain of who we are, okay? We are meant to be a part of a community, and we only thrive when we work in communities and contribute to others. So while life purpose is unique to you, a great way of making that purpose feel meaningful is considering the effect it has on those around us. So with respect to your needs and that which you enjoy, consider how you can make a difference in the world and make your purpose as much about bettering the lives of others as it is about bettering your own life. Not trying to plug myself here, everyone, but if you go to gregaudino.com, that's GREGAUDINO.com, and sign up for my email list, you will get a free document that's all about finding life purpose. Parts of it were referenced today, but there is a lot more, so those who are still looking for more insight into the depths of life purpose might want to consider signing up for that. And if you really want to be sneaky, you can just save the PDF and unsubscribe after that first email. I probably won't notice a difference, and it's your life, so you should do what you want to do with it. But otherwise, thank you so much to the person who asked this question. Each question we receive really is an enormous contribution, not only to the success of the show, but just to all of the viewers, as we're really all supporting one another by choosing to put ourselves out there, ask for help, and get answers that not only help others with their struggles, but encourage them to reach out as well. So for those of you who would like to submit a question of your own and have it answered here on the show, you can submit your question to advice@oldpodcast.com. Again, that is advice@oldpodcast.com. Don't be shy. Pretty much nothing is off limits. Pretty much. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Hope you'll stop in for the next one.